Hello and welcome. My name is Travis McGregor of SLC Corporation. I'm the CEO here, and I'm joined in the United Kingdom with Elliot Waddingham, our Chief Commercial Officer. And today
Hi,
we've carved
everybody.
out. Oh, sorry about that, Elliot. Today we've carved out about 10 to 15 minutes to be brief on two agenda items. First thing is we're joined, and I've invited a lot of our very valued SLC investors today, which have joined the team as advisors to really help shape the company for the future. So as a first part, I'll introduce and go around Robin. They can give a little bit of bio and background of themselves. Wonderful people here at the line for our SIM-based KYC. In the second part, we're going to build the product. We're going to do a screen share. I'm going to do a lot of different transactions based on this industry first technology. So why don't we just start here? I'll go left to right, no particular order. Brian Lancaster, thank you so much for being here. Why don't you kick it off, and then we'll go to the right of you down the line. Brian, please take it away.
Hi, Travis. So I got introduced about 6 months ago and invested, and my background is from working in IT operations in HSBC and then consulting. So my focus is on operational resilience and driving down risk in systems.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Brian, for your support and also your active support in the company. 4M Group, David Petrie. Please introduce yourself and a little bit about the firm.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us, Travis. So Dave Petrie, I had the pleasure of meeting Travis and SLC about 6 months ago, maybe 9 months ago now. And it's been a real pleasure to get to know KYC Plus and what it means across different domains that we at 4M work across: banking, infrastructure, energy, a lot of the focus on risk and compliance. My background specifically, 20 some years split between Barclays and Deutsche Bank, and the need in terms of KYC Plus and perpetually proving people are who they say they are, really as a complements existing technology that's out there. And so through 4M's existing channels into mid-market banks and global banks, we'll be leveraging those to bring in this very much needed service that we believe is very special. That's why we're an investor and looking forward to helping accelerate the product and IP. So thanks for having us, Travis.
Thank you, David. And Tom Rainier in the United Kingdom.
Yes, hello. For 25 years, I was a sell-side bank analyst. I've worked at a number of large banks, including Citigroup, Barclays, BNP. I obviously know a lot of investors in the banking space, and obviously a lot of the banks, or certainly managements across the European banking industry, at least, and not so much the US. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to maybe bring some investors, maybe some customer contacts, and help SLC, fine tune the message to investors and obviously to potential customers as well. So that's what I hope to do. That's why I'm here. I've invested. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Thank you so much, Tom. And I'll move to Richard Coleman. Thanks for being here. A little bit about yourself.
Okay, also UK based, similar to Tom, background in sell-side equity research, primarily with Merrill Lynch and HSBC for most of my career. European bank research, although focused on the UK. School friend of Brian Lancaster, which is why I got involved in this in the first place. And yeah, similar to Tom, hopefully have some value that I can add from the point of view of contacts in the industry today. And obviously fascinated by the product, having recently been the victim of an attempted credit card fraud myself. I'm very keen to see this kind of thing improve and become standard.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Rob first.
Hi. As opposed to the UK contingent, I'm in the tundra of Minnesota. I'm a lawyer and CPA by education. I spent 40 years in the financial markets, everything from raising capital for a very large hedge fund to being a 20-year member of the Chicago Board of Trade. I've been involved with compliance. I own a portion of a bank. My world is in the financial markets. I've known Travis for about 20 years in other technology endeavors. I was an early investor and an early board member, and I'm looking forward to bringing this innovation to the market.
Beautiful, beautiful. And another member and partner of 4N Group, Ed Parker.
Thanks, Travis. I'm based in the US, working with David. My background is in both equity sales and capital markets, having worked for Cazenove, Salomon Brothers, and Citi. I then ended up in the family office space on advisory roles for three principal families. One area I've been advising on recently is in some cybersecurity for an AI business, during which I found that their idea of security was not absolute security. And what excites me about what Travis is doing is to really address this growing problem.
My name is Phil Pickard. My background really is over 35 years in financial markets, the equity markets. I started off in fund management with two sort of significant UK insurers. In the early mid-90s, I moved over to the broking side, which back then was still better paid than the fund management side. I worked at James Capel, which is part of HSBC now, Cazenove, which is part of JP Morgan, Fox Pitt Kelton, which wrapped into Macquarie, and lastly Berenberg, where I helped set up their financial sector team. And I've been focused on the financial sectors all the way through. In particular, the diversified financials, which, you know, in more recent years in the UK, it took on things beyond the fund managers and the credit brokers and so on. It took on the new fintech companies coming in, as well as some of the legal business, which I got involved with. From 2012 onwards, I've been a consultant and helping one or two companies start up. I'm still a director of one of the legal businesses I helped with. And throughout that period, obviously, I've become, well, I was always aware of the growth of financial crime, and particularly as markets digitized and moved to m-commerce, it became ever more obvious that it was exploding in importance for the company's potential existential threat. I was introduced to SLC by a former banking colleague, and he had a good old tech friend who vouched for it, and that was, along with a conversation with Travis and so on, was enough to encourage me to invest. Since then, I've introduced one or two business contacts, and I'm happy now to be advising, and hopefully we'll make more further introductions on both the investment side of the equation and then hopefully the client side as well.
Beautiful. Thank you, Phil. And Richard O'Connor, please, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. As Travis introduced me to Richard O'Connor, I, like Phil, been in financial markets, capital markets for 35 years. Started off in the early 1990s at a finance house, and then moved on to fund management. An investment analyst, head of research, ran a team of 20 analysts across all sectors, including technology and financials, and was a portfolio manager for two very large, what we call the UK life funds, 15 billion, very long-term funds, taking very large positions across all sectors and investing 5 to 10 years. And I did that for just over 11 years. And then in the past 20-something years, I've been in investor relations, global investor relations head for two banks. First of all, RBS, now known as NatWest, and HSBC since 2016. Talking primarily to very large institutional owners across the world in all the capital markets. Obviously, US been prominent, but not just US, UK, mainland China, Asia, the Middle East. Obviously, with the HSBC global footprint, very much relevant in the last 8 to 10 years there. But also retail investors running from mass market retail up to high net worth and indeed billionaires. HSBC has 1 million Hong Kong shareholders, retail, all the way from the Hong Kong billionaires all the way down to what we call mum and pops who might own 1,000 shares. And the other companies I've involved in the UK have also had very, very prominent retail and other ownership. I semi-retired from HSBC in December 2023. I'm in my mid-50s. I now have a portfolio career where I'm an investor relations advisor for 2 or 3 companies. I was a non-executive on the HSBC Latin America board for 2 years, but it had to come off end of October because it's an employee board. I'm no longer an employee now, so I'm retired. But that is the front and center of financial crime within the HSBC group. And literally hundreds of millions, if not billions, have been spent on that over the last 10 or so years across that group. So I'm familiar with the issues of all aspects of financial crime. And so when I heard about SLC was the 4th private company I've invested in. The first one was about 19 years ago, a graphene company. But since I've semi-retired, I've invested in another 3. SLC is the most recent. And probably the fastest moving. And Phil, having spoken to Phil and then Travis and other directors and officers of the company, I made an investment, and like Phil, I'm now ready and able to hopefully refer future shareholders to the company and also future customers, and I'm ready and willing to do that with my network, and obviously we'll follow and help the company as best I can. I'll stop there.